Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu diesem neuen Interview in mal einer ganz anderen Kulisse. Wir sitzen hier gerade in der Hotellobby, was sich in der Tat sehr spontan ergeben hat. Wir haben da nur kurz drüber gesprochen, so hey, wir sind auf der Durchreise, könnten ein neues Interview machen und es gibt ja auch einige News. Wichtig an der Stelle, das Interview wird komplett auf Englisch sein, für alle, die jetzt nicht fit sind in Englisch. Wir werden es extra so einstellen, dass du den Subtitle, also den Untertitel, einfach auf Deutsch umstellen kannst. Also alles, was jetzt folgt, auf Englisch, aber wie gesagt, es ist die entsprechende Übersetzung auch mit dabei. Sonst natürlich wie alt gewohnt, bevor wir reinstarten, auf unserem Kanal, da findest du immer die spannendsten News rund um die Welt des Krypto. Auch natürlich alles, was die neuesten Projekte betrifft oder jetzt in diesem Fall auch ein Projekt, das ja jetzt so langsam vorm Listing steht, um das geht es ja jetzt auch gleich. Und natürlich die faktenbasierte Analyse von Scams, daher lass auf jeden Fall schon mal ein Abo da und jetzt starten wir rein. Rebecca, hello and welcome. I think it's your first time in Schwabach.
Yeah, in Schwabach, yeah. For sure. Not in Nuremberg, but in Schwabach.
Not Nuremberg, but I think it's easier for you. And so during your travel, a short interview, I think, very, very cool. Mm-hmm. And by the way, there is currently happening a lot with the project TMNG. Look in the description, there are also the whole playlist with the other videos. Now it's the hot time. And so my first question about the roadmap. There's a little change. Can you say some words about it? What will happen in the near future? It's true.
So, first of all, Daniel, thank you again for having me on your YouTube channel show, and a big fan of Uptrend and what you do. You're very, very hardworking, always coming out with new videos and exploiting the scams or showing the scams that are out there. Not TMNG, of course. That is not one of them.
Yep.
And we have a new roadmap that's coming out very soon, and something that is very important for the community to know: what is the timeline, what is happening, what's down the road, what should you expect or what can you expect. And so, of course, we had a roadmap for this year leading up to the listing on exchanges, which was really for October, really planned. Mm-hmm. And we had a lot of discussion with different exchanges. You know, we had several exchanges that we were talking to, negotiating with, and now we are so far along where we're about to get listed on exchanges, but I know we're going to talk about that in just a second. So focusing just on the roadmap, some things that the community can expect to see is the next thing is a migration. The migration from the Ethereum blockchain to Polygon. So many of our community was telling us that Ethereum, the gas fees, it was something that we had a lot of discussion about. And when we originally started with Ethereum, we knew we wanted to be with the best of the best. There's lots of blockchains out there, but we wanted to be on a blockchain that we could trust would be around for the long haul. And Ethereum has proven that to be true. Yeah. And it's been reliable, although at times it's been a little more expensive than maybe some of the other blockchains. And it was always in our plan to potentially migrate to another blockchain that's cheaper, and Polygon being so interoperable with Ethereum, that now is one of the things that's coming in the roadmap is a migration. Actually, at the end of October, that's going to happen from Ethereum to Polygon, 100% migration. And I know our community is going to be really, really happy about that. That the gas fees will be a lot less on Polygon with Matic as opposed to with ETH. And some other things to expect is we are completely doing an integration with CrowdSwap. Mm-hmm. And so it's a decentralized exchange integration. So we're integrating CrowdSwap system, and there's going to be a lot of features for the community to be able to use that. In addition to the decentralized integration, is we're going to be having a centralized exchange. We are building our own centralized exchange.
Nice.
Next year, that's in the plan. We're already preparing. The IT team is always hard at work, making our platform the very best that it can be. And so that's really something exciting that we're looking forward to. Some other things are, governance is something that's on the timeline. So a way that we can reward the people who have been in our communities that are like the OGs for TMNG. Those people who have TMNG tokens that have been around, that are OGs in the community, will have a chance to have a say, to have a vote of what happens with the platform, with the future of decisions that are being made. And all of that's being rolled out pretty soon. I don't have an exact timeline for that. However, I will tell you this. Yeah. The roadmap is going to be released very soon. It could be released before this video is even out. I don't know. But I will tell you this, we've already been discussing it in all of our partner meetings. We were talking about all of the new features, all of the things that are coming out with the roadmap. And so stay tuned for the actual posting of that. And so you might see it even being posted on the website very soon. So just keep an eye out. You'll see all of the things that are coming up all the way through 2024 and beyond. So.
Yep. And follow all the socials, then you have the information. But
follow us.
Yeah.
And uptrend.
Thank you. Yeah. I think we will also send this information when the roadmap is ready in our Telegram group too. It's very important. But by the way, I'm also a very, very big fan of Polygon.
Nein, doch.
You see Polygon 2.0 and so on. I think there will happen a lot. And if you see now Ethereum, yes, the biggest one, it's very good, but only now the gas fees. And then maybe in bull market.
It could get really extreme.
Yes.
So you're a fan of Polygon.
Yes.
So you approve the migration to the Polygon blockchain.
I'm a big fan.
Uptrend approved.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think there is so much potential in this blockchain, so much partners, big companies who use Polygon. So I think, this is a good thing. Yeah. By the way, next question, and I think this is also very important for this part of I hodl or I sell. What can you say about that, the marketplace?
So the TMN Global Shop is something that, of course, is on our mind. It is something that we have to build to completion for our listing on exchanges, and it's the whole purpose of our token, of our cryptocurrency. So the TMN Global Shop is coming out around the same time as listing. It's like listing and TMN Global Shop you can just assume they're going to be out the same time. And with the TMN Global Shop, there's going to be a new metal that will be rolled out every 2 weeks.
Nice.
So they won't all come out at once. There'll be one metal, like for example, hafnium, and then 2 weeks later you'll see indium or whatever the next one is that we add in the shop. But that all is being programmed now. And like I said, Polygon is in October. That's the plan. Around the end of October, it'll be in place. And then is coming the shop and the listing around the same time. But I don't recommend you to sell TMNG tokens right off the bat, because there's going to be a lot of benefits to hodling, to holding. One, because of the governance, there's going to be opportunities where you will, if you hodl tokens or if you join something that we're also talking about is a VIP system for people who hold TMNG tokens, how we can reward you as community members, how we can reward you for holding TMNG tokens. There's going to be more information released about that. Of course, from our marketing agency, Swiss Crypto J, shout out to you for all the hard work you do for that. But that VIP system will be specifically for people that are wanting to hodl and wanting to look for those benefits and how they can get the edge. As well as when the TMN Global Shop comes out, you can swap your TMNG tokens for the metals. And if you're really wanting to maximize your investment, of course, you do your own research. Always, like, I'm not a financial advisor. You have to make your own decisions for your finances and for your future. However, it's really, really great. The technology metals, the rare earth metals, that is what we are all about. And if you watch my YouTube videos on the TMN Global Tech Metal Tuesday series that we have, then you'll see that Tech Metal Tuesdays is all about the metals and the performance over the last 5 years or a couple years, and how the forecast is looking for the next 5-10 years, what the experts are saying. So if you watch these videos, or if you do your own research, go Google it yourself or ChatGPT it, however you get your own your information, then you'll see the potential of these metals, and you don't want to miss out on getting in on them now, while we're at the very beginning of this technological boom and technological revolution. So of course, do your own research. You know, it's your money, your crypto. You know, that you do what you want. But as somebody that's been learning about these metals, and of course, being in the crypto industry, it's definitely something that I wouldn't say just sell your TMNG tokens and cash out. Look for ways you can maximize your investment. Look for ways that you can diversify and make the most out of getting involved in our community and this project.
I think there will be some weekends who say, okay, only listing and I'm out. But I think a lot of people see this huge potential. I only say hafnium, I think 200% last year. Crazy, really crazy.
Crazy numbers, like kind of on the crypto industry, like that you really only see in crypto, but you see it in the technology metals too. Really awesome performance.
My last question, and I think the most important question, and the question who every investor will see and hear and so on. What about listing, exchange, and some other news?
So specifically with the listing, we've set a date, Daniel. We are so happy. We are over the moon excited about this date, this listing, which is November 21st.
Note it on the calendar.
Right. Mark it on your calendar, put it in your Google Calendar, wherever you can remember. November 21st is coming. It's set. It's so exciting after all this time growing this project, working, hustling, growing the community and telling people about this idea, about this project. Now we are where we are at today, where we have an exchange, we've signed a contract, we have a date set, and it is a top 15 exchange.
Klasse, what?
Top 15 in the world, in the crypto blockchain industry. Unbelievable opportunity for us as founders, but also for the community.
Yeah, true.
We really have exceeded the expectations with the exchange. I'm so sorry in this video, I cannot tell you the name. I'm like bursting at the seams. I really want to tell you, but I can't until I'm allowed. I've been released by of course my partners and the exchange allowing us to say the name and to make it public. But in due time, believe me, we're getting listed in November 21st, so it's going to be announced very soon. You will get the news, and of course our partnership with CrowdSwap is already known. So that's a decentralized exchange. But the exchange that we're talking about getting listed on November 21st is a centralized exchange. It's centralized, which means it'll be a lot easier for the newbies to onboard and buy TMNG tokens. And it also will mean that all of these community members on the exchange will hear about us. I'm not going to tell you how many million users are on this exchange, but it's multiple millions, okay?
Crazy, really crazy, and really good news.
Super good
news. I think the next few weeks will be very interesting. Very interesting
and very exciting as well. For all the OGs, the original community members, people that believed in us and believed in this project. And of course for our influencers, our ambassadors of the project who have been with us really since the beginning. This is these are the times that we've been talking about. These
Yeah.
are the times that we've been waiting for, and now it's here. And I'm sure we're all going to be popping a bottle of champagne or whatever your drink of choice is on the November 21st and celebrating. And then hopefully a very Merry Christmas afterwards and holiday season for everyone.
Yeah. Very, very good. Thank you for this short but really, really interesting video and interview with all this information. It sounds really good. And
You're welcome.
the last words are for you. What do you want to say to our community or also new community members who will see this video and say, oh, this is really interesting?
What I want to say is that we have an amazing team behind this project. I am just a talking head here doing an interview with Daniel, but the team behind the TMN Global Project works so, so hard. I have to shout out Sadat Demir for all the work that you do, being the architect behind this very technical company. Also Feridun Guven having this incredible idea back, way back in like 2018, 2019. Also Hubert Bloom, our president of the board, and Metal Man for his really all the work and support he does to make sure this project sees success, and everyone else behind the scenes, all the hard work that you do. Thank you for believing in this project, for sticking with us through thick and through thin. And of course, I cannot forget our community members, that we would not be here without you guys and without you seeing the value and the potential of this industry. I believe that we are all going to the moon, going to Mars, going to Pluto and beyond together. And it's going to be really, really awesome if you stick with us, and yeah, excited for the future.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. Ciao.